something a little bit different this week. I'm going to try my hand at an anime piece, but in my own style of course. Chainsaw Man has been a weirdly popular request for the past few months, so I've succumbed to the pressure and I'm going to give it a go. I've no idea who this guy is, but f it, let's just see what we can come up with. So I've done a bit of research into who I'm actually drawing. Chainsaw Man is a manga series written by Tatsuki Fujimoto and has now been adapted into an anime. In a nutshell, the story centers around Denji, a destitute young man who meets a dog called Pachita, who's got a chainsaw coming out of his head. He then takes out a contract that fuses his body with Pachita's, turning him into a human-devil hybrid, granting him the ability to transform parts of his body into chainsaws. I was tempted to go full realistic with this one and create a man with a well-known brand of chainsaw coming out of his head, but I figured I'd probably lose the signature Chainsaw Man look. Instead, I've opted to keep it akin to the manga, but making the details a little bit more realistic, adding some exaggerated blood splatter, creating a conceivable pose, and generally just transmuting a 2D character into 3D. So now I've penciled in my sketch of the head, I'm slowly starting to patch in the base colours, using several different tones of each colour to make it that little bit more realistic, and setting itself apart from its 2D origins. The mechanical details around the neck and the rear of the head are improvised. They're just a series of chains, tubing, and few metal components. I'm not being too anal about using real-life chainsaw mechanisms. I'm just doing a small section at a time and blending and highlighting as I proceed. I'm making sure the main focus of the head is on the Venom-style mouth and the red visor things, avoiding making any of the mechanical details too vivid. So I'm just building up some shadows and making sure it's all as conceivable as it can be. I had a bit of a mare with the perspective of the rear handle, had to rub parts out a couple of times and redraw it, but I think it's more or less there now. Join me for part 2 when we move on to the body and really ramp up the bloodshed.